What's going on, guys? So today we're looking at some Italian cutlery. This is an MKM Fara, all right? And this is a slip joint pattern. See half stop there. This one is really, really nice, all right? Very classy, very, modern take on a traditional knife pattern. I broke out the bag here because this came with this denim bag. All right, little bag that covered the knife. I want to say there was a box for this, but I got this, I think, late last year, and I just don't recall. I'm assuming there was a box. Usually I don't just come in a bag like this. But I did want to show that, all right, for all the denim fans out there. But that was kind of a nice little touch. Definitely different. I don't think I've ever had a knife come in a denim bag. All right, so first we're going to check out these markings. You can see this is a Burnley design. All right, blade steel is marked on the back here, M390. On the front we have MKM. All right, if you're not familiar with MKM, it is basically a collaboration with the best Italian knife companies, okay? MKM stands for Maniago, and hopefully I'm not, mispronouncing that, but maybe I am. Maniago Knife Makers, okay? So this is basically Lion Steel in Italy, Fox Knives in Italy, Viper Knives in Italy, and Mercury Knives. Now, I've had knives specifically from Lion Steel, from Fox, as well as Viper individually. I've never had a knife, I don't think, from Mercury. But those are the top 4 Italian knife makers across the board. So they basically collaborated together to come out with this other brand, MKM. All right, it's a very high quality knife here. This one, actually I didn't show you the marking on the back here. This one is from Tools for Gents. All right, this is a specific version made for Tools for Gents. So you can see their marking on the side of the scale there. All right, this knife is actually available, the Fara. I don't know if I mentioned that. This is the MKM Fara. This is available with a ton of different variants on wood scales. I mean, you can see these in the States that have a bunch of different types of wood scales, and they range about $120-ish in and around. Just kind of depends on which version you get. This one was basically a version that was specific to or exclusive to Tools for Gents, okay, in Germany. So this has a bronzed titanium handle as opposed to those wood scales. All right, now the price on this is about $155, okay? The exchange rate, it's 125 pounds, I believe. So I want to say in and around 155 US. I think that is an awesome price for this knife. If you are very much into the modern slip joints, modern traditionals, this is a really, really well-made one. The M390 is ridiculous on this. I like the blade style. You can see that there's a fuller, all right, that goes just on one side here. That works as basically your nail nick. Okay, so obviously there's enough blade here to just pull the whole blade, right? And I love that sound, closing it, which we're gonna talk about later. But anyway, so that works as your nail nick for some reason if you don't wanna grab it like that, or if you really need to get the nail in there, if it's dirty or something, that's how you can open it. There is a half stop on here, all right, nice crisp opening. There's enough pressure on the back, all right, so that it's not going to accidentally close. If you do happen to bump it on something, you're using the knife, you turn, hits on something, it's not going to necessarily close on you, but even if it does start to close, again, we have that half stop, okay, that's going to prevent it from cutting you. So the blade is 3 inches long, all right, has a unique blade style. It's not quite a clip point. I mean, some people might consider that a clip point. It's not really a drop point. It's kind of in between both. All right, you can see there's a little bit of belly towards the front here. It does sweep up. Although what throws you off really is that there's a straight cut here, okay, whereas normally if it was a drop point, it would have been curved down. If it was a clip point, it would have curved back up towards the tip, so it's kind of in between both. I would consider it a modified drop point, but to each their own. Doesn't really matter what you consider that. It is what it is, but it cuts totally fine. Like I said, I mean, just a little bit of belly towards the front. Not the best slicer in comparison to other blade styles. However, it is a great slicer because of the blade steel. It's just a very good performing knife, but we do have plenty of tip there to work with. All right, so if you're someone that does very much value a point on your blade for penetration, poking into boxes, whatever you happen to be doing with that, a little bit fine cutting work, it does have a pretty decent tip on it. Ergonomics are very good on this. I really like it. Very simple, slender handle design. I do feel the pocket clip just a tiny bit, okay, just where it flares up there, but that's just for my hand size. You can see the pocket clips riding down on the frame a little bit, and the reason for that is because they put in the lanyard slot towards the tip, okay, so they obviously would have to mount the clip where it is here. Totally carries fine. It does carry high though, okay, so keep that in mind if the people like their deep conceal carries. This is definitely not that. This sticks up. Whether you have a lanyard on there or not, you're definitely going to know where the knife is. But the flip side of that is it's very easy to grab, obviously, to retrieve it out of the pocket. I would think that some people, because it's a traditional style knife, you may just want to remove the clip. You can see it is not swappable to the other side. It is only tip up, right side carry. All right, but again, some people who like these style knives might like to take the pocket clip off and just use it in some kind of a knife slip or some kind of a sheath on the waist or something. If we come a little closer here, you can see that the spine here is rounded. It's rounded on the knife, but it continues, okay, on this back spring. You can see the connection between the back spring and the base of the blade there. All right, just very, very clean lines, very, very nicely done. Total attention to detail. It's just really, really nice. Like I said, very well made, modern slip joint. At the $155 price, you know, in and around that, something like that. I don't know the exact conversion. I think it's about that. I think it's totally worth it. I think you're getting a lot of knife for that money if you're into this particular style. Like I said, I mean, it's comfortable. The only issue I've had at all using it is just a little bit of pressure from the tip of that pocket clip just because of its placement. You know, it doesn't bother me that much. If it did with continuous use, I would simply take it off. Because of the style, I'd probably have this in a slip anyway or put it in one of the pocket organizers, something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's really nice. You can see there's a pivot collar on the back. I don't think I mentioned that before. All right, again, these are just little tiny details that sets a knife apart. You know, makes it very, very classy. And it does show on the front as well. You see 2 body screws. All right, very simple construction. So I think they did a really good job on here with this knife. If you haven't heard of the company, MKM, like I said, it's the top of the top, big collaboration between all the Italian companies. It's just definitely worth looking into as a whole, as a brand. I don't think this is my first MKM knife, but I think it's the first one I've shown on video. I've had, I want to say 2 other ones for sure. I just don't recall the model names of them. But they were both also very high quality knives. So really, really nice. Definitely worth looking into. The only thing, like I said, is just the tip of that pocket clip rubbing my hand just ever so slightly with some usage. The only thing else that might bother someone, and it's not really a big deal at all, but it's the blade to handle ratio because of the design of the slot on the bottom here for the lanyard. Not only does it push the pocket clip up, but you also get what looks like a short blade. Okay, it looks like, hey, wait, why didn't you make that blade a little bit longer there, right? Well, obviously because the edge would cover the hole for the lanyard. All right, you wouldn't be able to put a lanyard in there, it would just cut it. So, I mean, that could be a minor detail that you may or may not like. I guess it's worth mentioning. To me, it doesn't really bother me. It's just, in hindsight, it's such a cool knife. I wish that they maybe got rid of the lanyard hole completely and or just made it a circle so you can have a tiny bit longer blade and maybe that pocket clip position could have been pushed up a little. But one thing that's totally random, and this means absolutely nothing, but it's something that I focused on for some reason, is the way this sounds when it closes. I love it. I have no idea why. It's such a satisfying sound. All right, just in opening this and I go to close it, and I just like that sound. I couldn't tell you why, but it just stood out to me because a lot of other knives either have like a higher pitched click, you know, when it shuts, or it sounds like nothing. It's just, I don't know. I know that comes across as very weird, but I like the way it sounds when it closes. You probably never hear anyone say that about a knife. It just, I don't know. It's hard. It's very, very hard to explain. Compared to other knives, it's a more satisfying sound. But that means absolutely nothing as far as performance, but I can tell you it does perform very, very well, and it's comfortable. I like it. So yeah, that's the MKM Fara. Even if you're not into this particular design, I would certainly recommend looking at MKM Knives as a whole. Just very, very nice, high quality stuff there. So that's pretty much it. Let me know down in the comment section if you have an MKM knife, or if specifically you have the Fara. If you do, let me know what version you have. Like I said, a lot of other, wood variants. I just really like this titanium one. Very simple, very clean design. It's a good looking knife and it performs well. So that's it for now. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.